Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Another Friday with the Anime Adventuring Party. As last week, we have our very own special guest, Keiki. So Anacron is lost in the labyrinths of the mystic bibliothèque of anime.
He has been kidnapped by the Witcher kidnapped. It's fine.
Or that, yeah, that works too. And yeah, we're here in as a four or a quartet, and this time we're gonna talk about anime that we think are historical, how they represent history, and why they catched our eye. So before we start,
Caught
our eye. Yes. So, how are you all?
Fine.
Not so fine.
Because of a certain thing you just watched?
Yes.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Yes. Well, that part actually got me through the thing I watched. So, first of all, I would like to tell everybody to follow our social media and all that good stuff. Follow us here, more importantly. And we will be talking about, as Ticket said, historical anime. So let us define this.
Yes, and what we think constitutes as historical anime. So I will go with my definition first. It's any anime set in something that seems like the real world, like Kimetsu no Yaiba is set in Japan, but it's historical as long as it has roots in like the real world. You can insert like magic or demons or dragons or something like
and
that.
No, we will not be talking all the time about fates and the rest of the Natsuverse.
Yeah.
So that's off the limits this time. This is not the moon talk.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's most important is that it's set in the real world or something like the real.
I have one. One of the things I have suggested is a bit on the other side of that definition, but I will defend it to death because it most of its characters are historical figures.
Okay, that is fine.
And if you don't mind, I will start with
drifters,
it.
Isn't it?
Drifters, yes, of course, it's drifters.
Yes, I saw that in choice.
You know, I wouldn't have put it on the list, but you know, both Hannibal and Gaius are in it, so
okay.
Yes.
You what? Like, I will accept that featuring many actual historical figures maybe counts too, even if they're in a fantasy setting, they're historical figures.
I mean, they all came from our world. It even starts at the battle where they.
Are you starting with your first pick, or?
Well, I already started.
Well then.
Omaewa.
So
Drifter.
I will put it to the court. Should we accept this proposition?
Like, to be honest,
historical isekai, maybe like that. Historical.
Yeah, this is a rare historical isekai.
Yeah. I'd say I accept it because the characters are rooted in the history of the real world.
Indeed,
So in that sense, they are exactly that. And even though you might put them in a different setting, that doesn't change who they are and what their legend is. So yeah, sure, I will accept this.
Exactly, yeah.
Wait, is Shumatsu no
I was just about to say that.
Valkyrie a historical manga, then.
Well, if it was an anime, if it was an anime, we could. But look, the thing is, these characters, well, most of them act according to our laws of reality.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Oda and I can never pronounce the name of the protagonist. Brain, please help me. Somebody.
Brain und Klaus.
The protagonist. Just a moment.
Shimazu.
Shimazu.
Shimazu or Shimatsu?
Shimazu.
But I mean, is he like a C or Shimatsu
No.
or Shimazu?
No. It's pronounced Shimazu in the show. So yeah, Shimazu Toyohisa and his previous ruler Oda Nobunaga both act in accordance with the rules of our reality, so they don't use magic and bullshit like that. There are some mages in the story, and some entities who have denounced their humanity and have become the Dark Ones, and they get special powers, but that's on them because they're retarded, they're losers, and we will defeat them like we're supposed to.
I hope so. I really hope for the continuation.
I gave up hope long ago.
Abandon hope, ye who thread into the world of drifters.
It was announced when Helsing finished, and that was a long time ago. So we just have to be extra patient.
I mean, to be honest, like Full Metal Panic got a continuation after 12 years, and Inuyasha is getting a continuation too, which is also technically a historical anime, so...
Inuyasha is getting a spin-off.
It's a spin-off? Ooh. Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually a continuation.
No. So basically, about this show, it's, as we already said, an isekai. And it's about Jesus trying to purge the world.
Pretty much.
As it should be.
Because we humans have betrayed him.
How dare we?
Yeah. To mention some more prominent figures from history which are in this show, we have Butch Cassidy. We have Anastasia Romanova, although she's not a historic character, we'll accept it. We have Joan of Arc. We have Saint Germain. We have Rasputin. Yes. We have the Sundance Kid. We have
Secret Band of Thieves.
We have Hijikata Toshizo, who is one of the Shinsengumi leaders.
Yes.
We will be mentioning the Shinsengumi quite a few times today, I think.
Hi.
I think.
Man, I just want to say, you can tell that Kota Hirano used to draw hentai by his art style.
Indeed.
Yeah.
He
Did you say that word?
No. I just remembered. Yes, he does have quite a few ugly bastards.
That's a power play.
Did you mention Rasputin?
Yes, we mentioned Rasputin. We mentioned Hannibal and my mistake from earlier, Scipio Africanus.
Saint Germain.
Saint-Germain, yes. And of course, there is the big one that might get us banned of everything, but I do not care. The German great leader who has come to make a new Reich.
Stroheim?
We know. Yes, sure. Sure. You tell
Maybe
yourself
don't-
that.
Maybe don't make that your introduction.
I mean, that character is literally a fool who came to this world, did his big talky thing, tried to unite the humans versus the elves, succeeded to a certain degree, and then he failed, as he does. By the way, this show has, since it's a isekai, it has the best representation of dwarves I have seen in all of anime, because they're badasses who like to drink, like to fight, and like to work.
Work hard, play hard.
Elves were kind of portrayed like weaklings, though.
As the Night Fears should be.
Got him.
Who, me, a racist? No.
So, you are the leader of the Third Reich.
Look, I'm not trying to empower our nation. I'm trying to destroy the evil knife here.
Ah, I see.
There is a difference. There is a certain difference, however small it may be.
And
So, the story goes like
we are
this.
destroying the show. Come back.
The story goes like this. There are forces that keep the entire existence in balance, and there are edges of it, which are represented by Easy. And what's the other guy's name?
I had this pulled up.
It's not Abe.
It's
Guys, please.
I haven't watched this.
And-
I cannot help.
Murasaki.
Ends, Drifters.
Okay. The leader of the Drifters is Murasaki,
Oh.
and the leader of the Ends is Easy. So they basically represent the stoicism and hedonism in people, and living life freely or living life easily. And if you give in to temptation, you become one of the ends, which try to destroy all of existence, and the universe decided to balance that out by calling on people who are stoic and powerful and will try to win no matter the cost. So we have the Drifters. Why I think this is why I believe this should be in the historical category is because all the characters act according all the characters act according to the age they come from.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not very well acclimated to a fantasy world, except the crazy protagonist who is a roving barbarian, savage, samurai, dude fella.
Fair enough.
But we have his teammates, shall we say, the other Japanese people, because
The other Japanese people.
yeah, because somehow they it seems that the power of plot has pulled in people from same time or place together. This is why we have Sundance Kid and Butch Cassidy together. This way,
mysteriously, all the samurai from the Sengoku period.
Well, actually, Shimizu was after Sengoku.
Really?
Yeah. Minamoto is before Sengoku. Oda is.
No. He's actually from Sengoku. He's from the very end of Sengoku.
Yeah, he was born in 1570.
Died in 1600.
Yes, and Sengoku era is.
It's from 1467 to 1615.
Okay, so he's from the end. You will excuse me. I even though I like history, I am not very good at it.
He served the Toyotomi clan.
Yes.
You did your research.
No, I mean, as far as I go, I'm literally reading this shit off Wikipedia. So.
See, his Google Fu is amazing. That's why he's the engineer who cannot read.
Yes, I cannot read.
Oh god. So that was the Drifters, right? Anything else you want to add to this series as a whole?
Watch it, listen to it,
Okay,
read the manga.
That's
Love
fine.
That comes without saying because you will.
Okay, so who would you recommend this anime to?
Anybody who likes well, first of all, other Kota Hirano's work, so,
like Angel Dust,
like Angel Dust and Helsing and blah 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 blah, and people who like isekai, to see what a good isekai could look like.
All isekai are good isekai, you heathen.
I would differ. I will not beg, but I will differ. And yeah, anybody who likes fighting, there's a lot of fighting, and anybody who likes nuance in attention to the world. For example, one of our heroes, Oda Nobunaga, uses his trusty blunderbuss, but he doesn't have shot, nor does he have black powder. So he decides to make it because he's familiar with the process and other stuff like that.
Okay.
All right.
So, if that is about the Drifters, who would like to be next on the speech podium?
Oh, I just remembered another thing. I explained to a deaf person what the sound of the opening to this anime is, because it's very relevant to the entire story. It's like sitting in a car and somebody's driving really fast, but you don't feel afraid. You feel feel excited because you know the guy that's driving knows what he's doing.
Okay then.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Who's next?
who would like to be next? What's with that microphone?
I don't know whose microphone it is.
I think it's Keike's. It's like literally the wind.
How about now?
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Fine.
You want me to go next while it works?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then, since we mentioned Shinsengumi, let's go with the Kakuoki.
I actually saw that show.
Yeah.
I don't remember it well.
I have not seen this.
This is the one?
There's like 12 of them, so...
Well, actually, there's 3 seasons. 6 OVAs and 2 movies. But movies are a bit like recaps, but not exactly, since they have some new stuff in it as well, so it's required to watch them as well. But yeah, we start with the girl Chizuru, who's going to Kyoto in search for her father. And since she's not so bright, she's walking during the night through Kyoto, and of course she gets chased by Ronins. They want to snuggle with her.
Jesus.
She then hides in an alleyway, but there comes the supernatural part. We see non-human creatures with, well, human-like creatures with white hair. They're called Rasetsu. They attack the Ronins and kill them. And then they spot the girl, but Shinsengumi arrives and they kill the Rasetsu. And they decide to take Chizuru with them to decide if she will live or because she saw it all. And later they discover the name of her father, who's also the man that they've been looking for. And throughout the series, Chizuru and Shinsengumi, they gradually form a bond. So about the supernatural part, Rasetsu were like basically Japanese vampires, white-haired, and they thirst for blood. They can't go out on during the sunlight. And
are they fully albino, or do they just have white hair?
I can't recall the color of their eyes, but I think they had red eyes. Yeah. But I mean, later on we find out how people become Rasetsu, but I believe talking about that would be a spoiler. Mm-hmm. So maybe it would be good to stop with that here. Let's just say...
yeah, I think I will watch this. Yeah.
I mean, it happens in late 1800s, and it continues to the Boshin War that happens in 1868. That's the Japanese Revolution, civil war between the ruling Tokugawa shogunate at the time and those who sought to return political power to the imperial court.
Wait, so it's based on a game, yes?
It's based on an otome game, yes.
It has a game also. Oh. It's also when the modernization of Japan started, which brought industrialization, and that's what inevitably led to samurai becoming obsolete over time, because guns. And yeah, Shinsengumi had it really rough at that time, and the story becomes quite depressing as it progresses.
So basically, in Japan, the guns did to the samurai what the crossbow did to the knights in Europe.
The what did to the knights in Europe?
Crossbow.
No, what the guns did to the knights in Europe.
Yeah, basically.
That too,
what the guns did everywhere.
I mean, the crossbows still couldn't penetrate through a full plate with brigantine.
I think it could through most armors.
Look! A crossbow can penetrate through plate armor. That's not. Look, listen to me.
Plate with brigantine.
Yeah, but
brigantine. Look. Here, listen to me now very carefully. A crossbow can penetrate through plate armor when you're wearing it. You're usually wearing with a brigandine underneath, or a coif, or a breen. But the thing is, the reload time of a crossbow, no matter how fast or how good you are with it, you can't survive very long when a guy in full plate is charging you.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It will go through a plate, but it will not go through the brigandine.
That's not the point right now, so we will continue.
So
historical facts. Historical facts.
I mean, it also largely depends on the distance. Yeah. So
look, what matters is that Guns did that.
Guns did that. Yes, we completely agree on that one.
Yep. Also, since this anime may be considered to be a bit female-oriented, but I don't see that as the main thing in it. I focus more on the historical part because there are some things that are correct historically. Like, for example, Okita Soji. He's the one that had the the classical coughing blood.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah, but they called it differently. I can't remember.
If I may interject here,
consumption, I think. Yeah.
Soji Okita is a character in Shumatsu no
Yes.
Of course, yes, because look,
is a Shinsengumi.
Let me introduce you to the very recurring characters, the Shinsengumi. One of the most famous is Okita Soji, the best swordsman they had, but he was very light and very ill of health. We have Kondo, who is the first captain, the leader of the entire company of the Shinsengumi, which is I think 144 samurai, and we have Saito Hajime, who was always in the shadows for some reason.
We have Hijikata.
Yes, and yeah, that the four of them are famous. I think nobody else, right?
Yamanami Keisuke was more like a scholar. He didn't fight a lot. So yeah. Yeah. Also.
Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. Also, well, if you are more for a different kind of narrative, but also like Shinsengumi, I would suggest checking out the Peacemaker Kurogane. And I won't talk more about it because it was an honorable mention. But yeah, it goes with the same topic. So yeah, that's it from me for now.
Okay, so also, to who would you mainly recommend this show?
Well, anyone who's a sucker for that period. I mean, really, anyone who likes Japanese history, because Shinsengumi were really famous. They were.
And anybody who likes Dean's successes, because this is one of the shows they animated very well.
Yeah.
Dean is very
hit or miss. This is one of their
bigger. Hit or miss.
Yeah, this is one of their bigger hits, I think.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay,
especially from that time.
Okay, so Finn, you want to go next?
Sure.
Okay. What's your poison?
Dororo.
Yay!
Yay! It's great.
I gave that one to you.
Thank you. So, this is set surprisingly during the Sengoku period.
Gasp.
Gasp. It's either Sengoku or Meiji. There's nothing else, basically. I mean, they are long periods. Don't get wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
This as well as being a historical anime, this is also a historical anime.
Yeah, this one, the first one is from like
1967, 1967 to 1969.
Yeah, but last year there was not a reboot, just a new anime. So what this is about is a daimyo wants his domain to prosper, and he makes a deal with 48 sealed demons, so that he gains wealth and peace and prosperity and whatnot. And in return, he promised that he'll give them. He promised them basically whatever they wish to take. And they took his, I think it was his firstborn. He was born without skin, without legs, without arms, without eyes, hair. He didn't have anything. And yet somehow he survived. How exactly is still to this day a matter of speculation. But it's generally thought that this imbued him with some sort of like a mystical ability, which does go with the theme of him being able to survive later on and being so strong and stuff like that. So basically,
he didn't feel pain at the start.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, because they took away almost everything.
Nervous system too. Yeah.
Oh god, that sounds really grim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he survived. I think his mother put him like on a lotus leaf on the river or something.
The nanny.
Yeah, the nanny. Yeah, and he was saved by a medicine man who was harboring a lot of guilt from the war, and he wished to do something good, and he raised him. He built him legs. I mean, all the appendages, the face, the skin, everything, and basically he made him like a medieval cyborg. Kind of.
Okay. Okay. I can dig it.
Oh yeah, the kid is called Maru, and on his journeys, his goal is to hunt down the 48 sealed demons who have been unsealed when this deal. I mean, partially unsealed, I think, because of the deal, because they had pieces of him, so they could go throughout the lands, and so he travels Japan in order to kill all of them. And in the first step, so I think he kills the first of the demons, and I think he regains his skin or something.
Well, his face mask falls off, so
Yeah.
I believe it was skin.
Yeah. And there he meets the character called Dororo. And at this point, it's not quite clear if Dororo is a boy or girl, but it's not really important. What's important is that Dororo starts to accompany Maru on his journeys, and he gives to him, or he or she, I don't know, gives him companionship, which he needed to basically become more human. Like he lacked some of that human interaction because he was born like that. Not many were really ready to hang out with him because he was blind, he was deaf. I mean, he's basically blind, but he can still see like demonic energies and stuff like that. So he has like sight beyond sight or something, and the two of them go through Japan, slaying the demons, and that's basically what the rest of the series is. It's two of them day by day. I mean, not basically day by day, like month by month, maybe going through Japan and killing the 48 demons. In the meantime, his father, the daimyo, finds out that he is alive and killing the demons, which puts him in danger. I mean, him and his prosperity and wealth, and he tries to kill him like repeatedly. And I'm not going to go too much into it because it leads to the conclusion, which I do not want to spoil.
Yeah.
So I think this is a historical anime because I mean it's in Sengoku period Japan. It captures the life of people in Japan in that period. I think perfectly. The only addition is the demons. So it's like Japan told through like the tales of Ayakashi and demons and stuff like that. And
also, if I might add, read the manga. It's really short, and watch the old adaptation. It's also very good. So yeah.
How much of this there is?
There's
I think
one new season, one anime from 69, and manga, which is really short, like a couple of chapters. It's not. I don't think
69.
67. 67 to 69, yeah. But yeah, it's I think it's 24 episodes or something, even the old one.
No, the old
48.
one,
48.
Mm-hmm.
The old one is 26 episodes. It ran through 1969. The manga ran from 67 to 69, and the new anime ran from January to June 2019. And there is apparently a new manga. The
Really?
Legend of Dororo and Hyakimaru. Yeah, interesting.
Also Osamu Tezuka or...
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Wait, I seriously need to ask 69 or 96?
1969.
Okay, because that seems like a fucking lot.
Yeah, it's black and white.
That's why I ask.
Yeah, it's pretty damn old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was confused.
It's old but neat.
Yeah.
I mean, if I may intrude a bit, the thing that struck me the most is how piece by piece he regains, as you said, his humanity. And his terrible luck while doing it. For example, he gets his nose back in sulfur pit. Or
Oh
something.
God.
And
Nice.
the first smell that he smells is terrible, and there's
rotten eggs.
also when he finally Zororo first time. I mean, it's really emotional, and to put it shortly, it's kind of a revenge story.
Yeah, it's 100% revenge.
Yeah,
story.
and it really goes deep into the morals. If it's better to make right for one person or to make right for many others. So yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. One of my favorite ones so far.
Yeah, so a lot of it, the daimyo and most of the royal family, and I mean not royal, like he is like a local.
Yeah, it's a
daimyo.
smaller nobility. But
Yeah.
it's look, but during that time, even what we would call lordships were
this was
equivalent
basically
to kings. So yeah.
Yeah. Most of them hate Maru because he is alive and he's trying to regain his senses, his body, and they hate him because if he does that, they lose everything. But I mean, it's not really theirs to begin with, is it?
Exactly. That's why I said the moral of the story. Is it better, or should he sacrifice himself for the benefit of many others, or is it really their fault to begin with?
Yeah, and that the question is posed like in that exact form, like I think a few times throughout the series. I think even the daimyo tells that to Haki Maru, like, why can't you just die and we'll all be happy?
Yeah. But his mother saved him. That's the Buddha statuette from the beginning. When she gives birth, because the statuette loses its head. So basically the Buddha kind of saved him, kept him.
Buddha took the blow.
So that's why he's going against the gods in Shumetsu no Valkyrie.
The whole anime is an emotional poster, so yeah, definitely a must watch.
Yeah, and it's beautifully animated.
Yes, Mappa.
Yes.
Mapotofu.
Mappa.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to my first anime, and already since we said something about the Sengoku period, which was the age of the warring states, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Sword of the Stranger. A movie that is a poetic masterpiece that follows the life of a young boy who is an orphan and his dog, who will later get joined by a Ronin. And all of a sudden, in a story in Japan, you have warriors from the Ming dynasty who came there with technically no apparent reason. However, as the movie continues, you get to understand what are the motivations of the Ming warriors, and that there is a group whose member is also one European or Caucasian. I'm not really sure in that sense. And in all honesty, it is just a sense of a Bushido code of live and die by the sword, in my opinion, and continue to preserve your purity against literally perverting something that should be the cycle of life and death and honor. A movie that is definitely a must-watch. It's about, I think it's a little bit less than 2 hours. And just as I said, it is a poetic masterpiece, and I believe that all of you have watched it and you could say positive things about it. So, it also, if I recall well, in the movie there are some sorts of explosives or gunfire. I don't recall right now. Some things are getting mixed.
Dragons.
Yeah, that. Sorry about that.
Fireworks.
Dragons.
Yeah, fireworks with dragon heads, and you with ceramic dragon heads, which you use like mortars.
Ah.
Yeah. And apparently there is also a medicine that the Ming warriors take that numbs your pain, which shows why they can fight like literally complete beasts. And all of a sudden you just have a really nice clash of what would be immortality against a very short but fruitful life.
Also, yeah, that blonde guy, he isn't Caucasian. He's a certain subset of Chinese people.
Oh.
Because the most Eastern Chinese people, which are most familiar to the world, are the Han Chinese. This is a different subset of the Chinese nation, and they still have a strong culture to this day, but they are literally warded off from the rest of the country. They have like autonomous mini state, and I can't recall what they are named, but they're very famous for having fierce warriors, and they are the instigators of the Yellow Turban Rebellion.
Yes.
So that guy's from that sub-nation, and he worked as a mercenary, so that's how he got to Japan.
Yeah, and that as a mercenary is elaborated. So like the movie also tackles some other stuff, like do you stay true to yourself, or do you actually help someone who desperately needs that help, and you might actually find yourself traveling with them even though you want solitude? Because I kind of feel like with all the morality in the main protagonist, he kind of feels like he's a dying breed, and in a second he's a free spirit, but he kind of he has that nagging at the back of his head, like, I should really uphold to my sense of self. And I think he clearly displays it at the end of the movie. To the end of the movie, sorry.
Mm.
So yeah, all the fights are choreographed practically perfectly. You cannot see anything bad in them. You have even though some characters are showed very little, you can get a feeling of what the state of the world in Japan was at that point. What were the problems? What were the stuff that were happening? People who tried to cling to old tradition but failed, and people who kind of wanted to see some change. And I think that's also represented in the relationships between Kotaro, which is the little orphan boy, and Nanashi, who is that old, you could say, dying breed against something that's going to be the new generation, who's going to lead the world. So, a very good movie.
And there's a Shiba Inu with Yari. So, what more do you need?
Yeah, Tobimaru. who is also a main character. That is amazing.
He's a good dog.
A good
boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
We will degenerate into good boyness.
Yep. So, ring around the rosy and we find ourselves on Uncle Hawk again.
Yay!
What is your next pick?
Okay, since we mentioned both Sengoku era and Meiji Restoration,
For now.
I will not yet be talking about the Meiji Restoration. I will be talking about the thing that happened in between, the Edo period.
Yes, the one I forgot.
Yes. And I will not be talking about my favorite romance from the Edo period, which is Katanagatari, written by Nisio Ishin, the writer of Monogatari. I will be talking about Samurai Champloo.
Samurai Jack, yeah.
Oh, the clash of East and West cultures, the beauty of new and old, and the criticism of extreme Japanese nationalism during that time, because as you can see in the image here, we have our three protagonists. So this is the samurai on the left is Jin. We have Fu, the very Genki teenage girl who wants to find her father, who smells of sunflowers. And we have Mugen, the dude from Okinawa.
The capoeira samurai.
Oh.
Yeah, you could call him a capoeira samurai, and the
Man,
people
do you know how I remember this
how?
anime? The fact that Mugen's voice actor is the VA of Zoro from One Piece.
Oh yeah. There's that too. Oh look, he's kind of typecast as a dumbass swordsman, dumbass badass. So we have several anachronisms during this show. For example, the rap episode. Yeah, there's a rap episode in this.
Oh, the rap, not the rat. Okay. I was like, whoa, the rat episode. What's that about?
But back to the thing I was saying. The critique of strong Japanese nationalism during the Edo period. Because we have a native. Because Mugen comes from the Okinawan island, where the natives of the Japanese islands have been corralled to, and they keep their physical distinctness from the Japanese people who live on the other islands, because the Japanese do not mix with others. They like to keep themselves pure. But here we have an example of somebody who shows that if you're a worthy person, a good person, you have something to contribute to society. There's place for you. And we have juxtaposed to him Jin, who is a remnant of an old school samurai dojo, descendant 16 generations, very traditional, very paragon Japanese, but he doesn't have anything to do. So these two characters decide to find the one last adventure there is in Japan, which is to find the samurai who smells of sunflowers. And we go pretty much south to north of most of Japan.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah.
Humor is superb.
Humor is superb. Action is chef kiss. There's some weird episodes. There's some interesting. The story is pretty much episodic, but there is that overarching thing. Go and find the guy. So in each episode, you have a different adventure they go through. In one of the episodes, they have to cross a border pass over a mountain, and they run into weed smugglers. No. They're a tengu in the forest that live off of weed.
Okay.
And it's purple haze too. So yeah, the reference game in this one is top notch.
Okay.
Also there's a
JoJo.
Yep. There's also a baseball episode.
Yeah.
When the Americans come with their ships, and they want to play baseball.
America Jin.
There's also an episode that's dedicated to Vincent van Gogh and his sunflower art and stuff like that. So it's very enjoyable, very fun times, adventure, action, and at moments deeper than it looks.
Yeah.
And also we see the everyday life of the Edo period. Because we love art. Yay! We're cool. Yay!
Yeah.
We're so racist.
Come on, man.
Did you really have to?
And we have a girl with a hole in her stomach.
Yeah, and we have a girl that smuggles grenades by pretending they're her boobs.
Oh, so it's no guns alive.
Yep. That's the vibe is very similar to No Guns Life. Sometimes.
Nice.
Interesting. I don't know how to feel about this one, but I will probably watch it at around.
I
starting
think
you might not like everything about it, because it has a lot of besides the contemporary influences. It does have quite a lot of hip hop culture in it. And as far as I know, you're not too much of a fan of hip hop culture.
I am not hip hopping, no.
Hip hoppy.
So
yeah, I think I've seen like the first few episodes of this a long time ago.
Yeah, it came out about the time when you took your break from anime.
Ah, yeah. So that's probably why. Well, let's say that's why.
Yeah, that's the reason. And does anybody have anything to add?
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, Keiki, you want to take the mic next?
All right.
Jesus Christ.
That went a bit high, Ticket.
Sorry.
Okay, well, let's go back to Sengoku period.
Of course.
Why are you so stuck in the past? Joking.
That's my favorite period. So Sengoku Basara.
Ah.
Another anime based on a video game, but this one is a fighting one. So yeah, a lot of flashy fighting scenes. And as
Do I hear over the top?
Of course. And as the name says, it's in the Sengoku period, of course. We already established it from 1400s to 1600s. Huge civil war which led to the collapse of the feudal system in Japan. And the whole idea was to unify the country under a central government. Now, this anime is not that accurate, though, because it's focusing on the later years of the era, and the characters were changed so they fit in the same time frame, because many of them weren't alive at the same time.
So it's like the Vikings, yes?
Yes, like the Vikings show, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right.
Also, the other thing that's not accurate is like Masamune Date wielding 6 katanas and having bike handles on his horse.
No, that sounds pretty accurate.
No, that sounds pretty accurate. Yeah.
Checks out.
Especially the bike handles on his horse.
Yeah. Of course.
What?
Yeah.
Checks out. Yeah.
You didn't know about this, did you?
No. A part of me is glad that I don't, and a part of me is sad that. Sorry, a part of me is glad that I didn't know about this, and a part of me is sad because I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of torn in between right now.
It has 2 seasons and 1 movie, so it's not that hard to binge or watch if you're not a binger like me. So Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Ieyasu were the 3 great unifiers. So it's not a surprise that in the first season we see Masamu and Yukimura, 2 warlords from different regions, actually teaming up with the rest of the generals to take down the Demon King of Owari, Oda Nobunaga. So
because it has to be Nobunaga.
Of course.
Of course.
The great unifier.
Nobu.
So the second season focuses more on Toyotomi Hideyoshi as the next potential unifier, and the movie is more focused on Ishida Mitsunari seeking revenge, while other generals are trying their best to bring peace and end all the fighting. But in my opinion, Masamune Date and Sanada Yukimura are definitely main protagonists in this one. They start as a really heated rivals, and by the end kind of become friends, and they definitely have the best showdowns as fighting is concerned. So yeah,
it's totally not pro wrestling encounters. No, not at all. Totally not pro wrestling.
So yeah, besides that, I don't think I should add anything more because I don't want to spoil. But definitely, if you like Sengoku period, if you like the unifiers and all generals that lived in that period, and if you like good humor and flashy fighting scenes, this is definitely the one to put on the list. Short and sweet.
Interesting.
I think the second ending of this show was top notch.
Over the top notch.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh man, I just remembered something, and I just confirmed it.
What?
Zoro's voice actor is in Sengoku Basara too.
There you go.
Oh, how the world is small.
Yeah.
Was the second season ending the one that ended up with the crater?
I'm not sure. I'm looking through the endings, trying to find the one I'm talking about, but I'm failing.
because
because
I look it as a whole because I binge everything, so it's sometimes hard to distinguish seasons. But yeah, it's
the one where they're dancing.
yeah, I know which one.
Nani?
Yeah, there's one of the endings to this show is literally all of the armies dancing, and they color code, so that's
great.
Top over the top.
Okay.
Zoro is the blue one.
No, it's really a delight to watch.
Wait, what is this? The origin of Power Rangers or something like that? So.
Well,
it's based on a fighting game, so
look, I can do a presentation on how the Power Rangers came to be, but we'll talk about that another day. I literally know that how that came to be in its entirety.
Oh my god. Well, we can look forward to it one day.
One day or another. So,
Finn.
Would Finn take over?
Okay, I shall talk about Vinland Saga.
Nice.
It's
nice.
Nice. So, Vinland Saga. What can you say about Vinland Saga that hasn't been said before?
It gives more respect to Vikings than any TV or TV show or movie made in Europe or America.
Possibly, and
or video games.
I think out of
I know what you're talking about.
I think out of all the anime, Vinland Saga is the most strictly non-magical.
It is very non-magical, yes.
Yes, so it's the most historical of the ones we've
covered about. So far.
So far, yes. Vinland Saga is about in its start is about this guy named Thors, who is a retired, basically ultra Viking,
ultra mega giga badass.
Yeah, he and his war band, I'd say, raided like the coast of England, I believe. Yeah, the England and
Francia and
Francia also. Yeah,
Francia, Germania, Russia, and England.
And in the meantime, he grew tired of fighting and decided. I mean, he didn't really grow tired of fighting.
He grew up.
More like, he realized that he doesn't want to kill me, and through that he became like a true warrior,
Yeah, and he realized that sometimes not fighting
is the best way to
not fighting is the best way of fighting.
Yeah,
it's a thing in real life too.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
And this is a guy who, without any weapons, could beat up like a bunch of berserkers and top-notch killers, and he was like a beast. But my dude did not want to kill anyone, and basically what happened, his past came to bite him in the ass because he basically deserted his let's say, battalion.
Post. His entire.
Post. Yeah.
He was basically like a warlord.
I mean, he was like he was the main fighter of a he was like
he was a captain of the
king.
Jom's Viking.
Yeah. And he abandoned the Jom's Viking, who are basically a band of super Vikings. And I mean, that's literally what they are. And they come back to get him under the pretense that if he helps them win the battle, that everything is forgiven. Unfortunately, they through some underhanded techniques managed to kill him, and he leaves behind a son, a wife, and a daughter. And his son is actually the main character.
Yeah.
And the guy who killed him, I mean, basically killed him, is the target of the...
He becomes the foster father and the target of our protagonist's revenge.
Yeah, he becomes like how do I describe this relationship?
Tutor?
What?
A tutor?
No. He becomes like a father in a sense, yes, but in mostly a target. So he
a goal.
Look, he becomes the father in the in the hero arc.
I mean, so, it's important to preface that the son joins the war band of the guy who killed his father in order to one day kill him.
Avenge him, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it fits the heroic arc, because since his father was already murdered, Askeladd, the guy in the armor here in the picture, takes over the image of the father for our protagonist. And one of the steps in the heroic arc is kill your father, kill the past, or some stuff like that.
And I mean, it's not.
And that is denied to him.
Yeah. But spoilerish. But you can't really say that Askeladd was really like a father to him, because I mean, he didn't love him actually. Like he, I think there was like some amount of, like a little amount of caring, but like it was mostly like respect for him, for his
drive,
ability, and his father, and the tenacity of the kid. Yeah, so it's most like a relationship of
necessity,
depth and respect, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And the story centers on Askeladd and Thorfinn, who is the son of Thor, and the dynamics in the war band. So yeah, if you, I mean, it's borderline super natural, because people do things people are not able to do. Like
they're not supposed to do, but look, it fits with the historic records.
I mean, yeah, it's like if you read like through the sagas and you read like, oh, and then he threw a huge boulder. He was so
No,
strong.
he threw a log on he threw a log on a ship and the ship sank.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they're Vikings. You never know.
Oh no, they might have jumped a little bit to Scotland to practice all that log tossing.
No,
Also,
this is basically a historical anime which gives you like a bit of spice of how myths are born, something like that, I'd say.
Yeah, it tries to keep it grounded, but some things are, humans shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, 100% are not able to do that.
You like the first episode, the first scene when Thor jumps off a ship in the Northern Sea in armor and swims several kilometers to the shore.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's stuff like that, but yeah, it's pretty historic.
Yeah, I mean, if you ignore the supposedly natural feats of apparently supernatural people, it is historical with like a bit of over exaggeration.
Also, this show and manga too, because currently this is my favorite manga. It has the most misunderstood character in the story, and a lot of people out from the real world don't understand this character very well.
Canute?
No, it's Torkel.
Torkel.
Yes, you see the top right.
Yeah.
To the top right, the guy acts like a brute that only wants to fight, and he doesn't like that people see him like that, because that's not what he is. But for that, you need to read the manga.
Or what for next season?
We hope
wait
that...
for next season.
Yes, Twitch, you can hear us, Twitch Popo, please. Please say to your overlords at Amazon, we need the second season of this.
Season 2. Please.
Onegai.
Onegai shimasu.
It's animated by Wit Studios, so the animation is awesome, and the music, the intro and the outros are amazing, like out of this world.
Okay.
Very hype.
Very hype, yeah.
So a little bit of a diversion from the animes that we've done so far. Most of them were concerned about fighting and stuff like that. And since Finn took us into Europe, I'm going to continue with Europe.
With Arte?
Exactly, yeah, you were very correct that. So this is a very, very, very lovable little anime that has 12 episodes, and the manga has, I think, it's now ending the 7th chapter. The story practically follows a young noble girl in the 16th century, which concludes with the Sengoku period, haha, to a little bit, who wants to become an artist. And her father supported her to become an artist, but unfortunately he died, and her mother kind of tries to force her to go into a family and just like go into a marriage, which was the usual thing to do back then. However, since this is the Renaissance and arte was based on the Italian Baroque painter Artemisia Gentileschi, she wants to become an artist so bad that she actually renounces her noblehood and goes out and finds a tutor who is seemingly a misunderstood artist who lives in a little shop, has little patience, and has a wealth of knowledge how to approach art. And the entirety of the series is about her learning how to become an artist, learning about what you need to expect from your customers, how to please your customers with your work, and every part or every arc represents a class of characters, like let's say a middle class, someone who is still studying to become another student, and besides that is actually a very good representation of a strong heroine in an anime, because even though she is a goofball, she's very determined, and she wants to establish herself in the world through art. And you know, there is some historical references, like this is happening in Florence in the 16th century. It's Renaissance to Baroque, stuff like that. It is mentioned that there are Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo who are dead by that point, because I don't want to spoil some things. The manga goes into that a little bit further that I'm reading. And even though this anime has an original ending, it really works well to anyone who likes art, who is a student of art, because it's going to explain you a lot of the things that even work today in the practice of art, so like talking to your customers, as I already said. And there are really some nice and wholesome situations where being a woman in the 16th century wouldn't really be a nice thing, and it will kind of look like taboo in some certain situations. And it's a wonderful example of how a heroine could stand up on her feet and eventually become something through hard work and be respected by the people who shunned her at first. So yeah, a very nice anime. The only complaint that I have about this anime that I really enjoy was that the manga goes much deeper into some of the side stories of the people she influences. She influences with her actions. There is a seamstress arc that is technically a bonus chapter. There is all the talk when she goes into, I think it's Venice. Is it Venetia? I'm not really sure at this moment. Venice, yes, sorry, Venice. I'm Serbian. And in all honesty, it was one of the fresh airs in this year, because it debuted in this year and ended in this year, and it was just kind of like, this was the anime for me that sparked that historical intrigue and love to just go and explore what else is there in the world. And it's kind of a very unusual anime, to be honest. I don't recall anyone tackling art in that sense in an anime. There were some anime that were tackling music and stuff like that, but nothing in this particular way. So if this is something you're interested in, you should totally watch it. There are 12 episodes. It's very easy to binge. It's wholesome. It's slice of life. It has some hard moments, and there is some nice comedy. And you will learn a lot.
I can add a counterpoint to your thing. There is an anime with at least one arc dedicated to art and how to do art and reflection of it in real life. It's called Persona 5.
I
am
do not
stuck in the calamity that is my mind right now.
Literally one of the characters is an artist, and his mentor is stealing his art.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, we need to play that game as soon as it comes to PC.
I mean, in all honesty, if Guilty Gear Rev is an anime, then Persona 5 is too. So well, I'll accept it.
There is an anime of Persona 5 too.
Oh yeah, you're correct. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I mean, I count the game as the better anime, but yeah.
Yeah. You're correct. I forgot about the true anime. Let's call it like that.
The true anime.
The adaptation.
Okay. Have it that way.
Okay.
So that was the end of the second round from me.
Alrighty then.
Next.
Okay. For the third round, I will start with something more contemporary.
Contemporary.
Oh well, 90s and 2000s.
Oh, I think I know.
Jormungandr. So, a lot of people compare this show to Black Lagoon, and I know where they're coming from because the presentation of it is very much action, badassery, stuff like that. But under the surface, it goes through a lot of events that happened in the 90s and the early 2000s. So smuggling of weapons, arming the Mujahideen, arming the Taliban later, arming the civil people in the civil war here in the Balkans, and other stuff like that. Of course, the names are changed, but it's pretty recognizable because it's too current to use the real names.
I just realized that JoJo is basically a historical anime.
Yes, it
like
actually
all
is.
JoJo, like all of it.
Technically, yeah.
I mean,
it starts in the 19th century and ends in the 21st.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I asked on Discord. You can actually count Akira as a historical anime because it ends in 1219.
Yeah,
in 2019.
Yeah, it's alternative history, but it's still history.
Yeah.
History that could have been based on real stuff.
Just a moment. So the character that put this perspective in my eyes and then made me see. I will be mentioning this when we talk about anime that made us research stuff. The name is Dragan Baldra Nikolaevich, a Serbian war criminal, blah 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 blah, leader of the Balkan Dragons.
Oh.
So his name is changed, but it is Arkan, leader of the White Tigers or something, paramilitary organization that got their weapons in less than legal ways.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and it put me in a hole of researching wars that happened in the period of the 90s and 2000s. It's basically this is a story about a South African organization that is transferring weapons through the world, and sometimes they do less than legal stuff, like hiring a child soldier to work for them, to infiltrate specific situations to deliver goods. The music and the action in this show is on par with Black Lagoon, as well as the nutty characters. So yeah, all the characters are. I mean, the most normal character in this story is the child soldier, who can't talk properly for the first, I think, 6 or 8 episodes, which because the episodes play out over a month or 2 sometimes. So he learns how to speak in the period of the first few episodes.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. And well, what can I say? Here's the company's name is HCLI, European African Weapon Transport Division.
Okay.
So, the previous director of this company had two children, a boy and a girl, and they had disagreements when their father died. So they're basically playing at war between themselves by playing wars that are happening around the world. Sorry.
So basically, a bunch of proxy.
Yes.
Wars. Yeah. Okay.
Proxy wars.
Proxy. Yeah.
If you like. Mind games, good action, and good music too.
So this was animated by White Fox, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
They got good stuff. Okay.
So, carry on my wayward, Keiki.
Keiki.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Shoot.
All right. Which one? You were in 20s, yeah?
Well, 1990s, 2000s.
Oh,
90s.
90s. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like looking at the image and did I hear it right? Well, okay.
Oh yeah. That lady has tons of style.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go then to.
I think has the Sengoku period.
No. Let's go to the before Christ period.
Oh.
How far back are we going?
Like 200 to 300 years before Christ.
Okay, so it's not prehistoric anime.
The anime is Kingdom.
Okay.
So, first of all, you need to give it time and do not turn away from it because you're put off by the horrible 3D animation. It gets better over time.
So this is the right thing that I'm portraying to you right now on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Exactly.
I actually did drop this at some point.
Well, yeah, it starts really slow, but it gets better.
I've seen that like a season 3 came out recently, yes?
Well, the 4 episodes are out, but the 5th one got postponed. So we're waiting on that one. So yeah, no superpower in this one, just the logic. So basically it's what if Dynasty Warriors had an anime?
Okay, interesting.
Kingdom is pretty much similar. And it, in my opinion, portrays very well the strategic war in medieval China. The story at first started to, as I said, rather weak, but it became better later. And it's about two slaves, Jin and Piao, who are very close friends. And they are always fighting and training against themselves to become the greatest general under the heavens. And all that in order to escape their social stature as slaves. So that was their ticket out, let's say it like that. So as the story goes, friend Piao resembles a lot to the emperor's son, and he becomes like a double for him. And there was an assassination attempt, and Piao returns to Jin to the village, half dead, with like a, let's say, dying wish So he asks for Jin to go and the China's young prince, I think. He was just like really young. And then Jin goes on the road, and let's say it's a really uphill battle to carve his path to becoming the great general, because Piao recommended him to the young king and said he's very efficient in battle. And yeah, overall the story is doing an amazing job taking you through the entire process of climbing up the ladder, and it shows other great generals, so there's something to learn too. Also the tactics and everything. And yeah, it shows you the country that's been locked in a state of war for like 500 years and how it all progresses from there. So yeah, don't be discouraged by the bad 3D at the beginning, and give it a shot, like maybe 5-6 episodes before you decide if you want to continue or to drop it. In my opinion, it's rare to see the anime like this because it has like no supernatural, no magic. It's just pure war tactics. So if you like tactics and war, there it is.
Cool. Okay, so we now know where Adam Dembski Boy got the inspiration to write the story of Zerat and Azir.
Mm. I'm just checking now about the fifth episode of the third season. I don't know why was it postponed.
When was it postponed?
That too. There's nothing on the internet for that. So yeah. But if you're not like me, you'll have time to catch up.
And if you catch up to it, you can always start reading the manga.
Yes. Also, if you're really discouraged by the 3D animation, then yeah, manga would be a good.
Yeah, and people are ranking this manga together with Blade of the Immortal and Berserk and Vinland Saga. So I think it's pretty damn good. Good.
Yeah, it was really something that I stumbled upon by accident, and it really stuck with me.
Cool.
All right. I mean, that's it from me.
For now.
Yes.
For now.
Oops.
So, Finn, would you mind?
Sure. Okay. So the one I'm going to talk about now is Golden Kamui.
I haven't seen that. I heard a lot of recommendations for that. Now sell it to me.
Man, like, okay, how do I sell this to you?
Watch it.
Yeah, I mean.
So, this is about a dude who is called Sugimoto the Immortal, who earned the nickname during the Russian-Japanese wars. I think it's like something like the 19th century or something like that.
Yeah, 19th century.
Yeah.
Mid to late 19th century.
Oh, it's actually the early 20th century. Huh.
There was another one then too. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Russia and Japan are kind of permanently
all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main character is minor at this point in Hokkaido, and he hears the story about a hidden treasure of the Ainu, which was hidden on the tattoos of some people who escaped from I think like some high security prison.
Okay.
And at first he's like, "Is this?" I don't exactly recall how he finds out that this story is true. I think he catches this guy, and then it turns out that he does have the tattoo, and so he didn't decides to go hunting for the treasure. And during the hunt, like early during the hunt, he comes upon a young Ainu girl, and the two of them travel Japan, looking for people with the tattoos, like these specific comments. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. I don't recall. Let me just check. There is a certain number of people with the tattoos, and it turns out that he is not the only one who knows about the tattoos, and a bunch of people start looking for them too, and a lot of the conflict is people fighting to get to the prisoners first, and basically most of the groups looking for the tattoos just want to kill the people and get the tattoos off them. But Sugimoto, if I recall correctly, he just tries to copy the tattoos and just moves on. So this the anime has a lot of the focus is on the Ainu culture, like it is showcased a lot. Like you find out a bunch of facts and interesting history, and for that, I think out of all of my picks, this one is the one from which I learned the most and which had the most interesting history. And like a bunch of scenes are just Sugimoto and Sirpa, I think is her name, just talking about the modern Japan and the ancient local cultures of Japan and how they compare, and they introduce the cultures to each other, and they form like sort of a father-daughter. I mean, really like a father-daughter, more like a strange brothers in arms kind of, but with a mix of father and daughter kind of relationship. It's like it's it's like a novel concept, So if you like Japanese culture to which you haven't been exposed, this is a great great starting point, because I don't think very many anime deal with the natives of Japan to this extent.
Okay, you got me. You got me.
There you go.
Yeah, is it fairly new or?
Yeah,
it's like a couple of
2016
years
or
old.
17.
Yeah, because I think I heard some great stuff about it, but for some reason didn't start it. Now it's on the list.
And the animation is great. The landscapes are excellent, and the themes are like of war, of hunting, of survival, of and how that ties into the local cultures of that period. It's like a lot of contrasting between the modern and the native,
Okay, I'm seeing a guy in a uniform with a rifle
That
punching
would
a
be
bear.
Mikimoto, yeah.
Punching a bear.
Let me see.
See, that's the way you could have sold to me in one sentence. I'll share the image in Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically doing old school yakusuki. So what is called a cross.
Oh yeah.
It's the Uno card on the Revenant situation. Uno reverse card.
Reversal. So yeah, I mean, yeah, everything you said that got me already, but I saw a guy punching a bear. I'm in. I'm all in.
And
maybe even during this weekend.
And I think one of the strongest points of causing Kamui is the characters. They're all interesting. Like they stand out, but not in like a weird way. They're just memorable.
Interesting people.
Yeah, interesting people, and some of them are just psychopaths. Some of them are good people. Like it's a weird era, man. There's been a war.
Look, give it all to me. Give all of that to me, please. I need more of it.
So basically, it's not just a quirks showcase, but more to it.
What you kind of cut?
It's not just one-dimensional characters. It's people who have some.
Yeah. It's 100% people, and I think the majority or all of season 1 is set in
Hokkaido.
Yeah, which is nice.
Awesome. How many seasons?
I think 2 seasons. The third one is due this winter, I think, and there's a few OVAs.
Perfect.
There you go. So it's awesome.
Okay. I suppose I am next. Well, in the 20th century, precisely Chicago, and on the train flying Pussyfoot, we have Bakano. Now, Bakano is a weird one and I'll put it as a historical anime because it represents a lot of the things that might have happened behind the scenes back in the 30s. It has that aesthetics. It shows some progress with technology. It shows how the mob works and stuff like that. And even though it is tailored with supernatural and mystery elements, it's just an enjoyable trip down the memory lane if you like old stuff, let's say, like...
If you were born in the 19th century.
Look,
20th.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I mean,
Like
if you were born, you would
Samurai Champloo was the last adventure in Japan. This is the last adventure in the Americas.
Yes, in Chicago. Also, it has a really memorable cast of characters that come from all sides. It has two goofballs who are there to keep your sanity intact. It has people who are very traumatized by what they become. And I don't want to spoil things. People die and get back alive. So that's basically the premise of most of the characters.
So people don't die when they're killed.
Yes, they do, but
You're right.
they do, but they return. They do, but they return.
You know what kind of... it's kind of something that it has 16 episodes. Why is it 16?
No, it's 13 episodes and it's 3 specials.
Oh, okay.
It's because of that.
Better.
That is more acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the specials to me were better than the original series, but in order to understand the specials, you need to watch the original. So it kind of it tackles around really a lot of interesting points that were in our human history, like let's say alchemy, because some of the characters literally contact some entity in order to obtain the elixir of immortality. However, that has a price, and this is a story about 200 years after the pact that they see between themselves and between that entity. There is also a very interesting news shop that delves in informations like brokers. There are what would be practically the Italian part of the anime that work really in shadows, and it can display the mob wars because they escalate in the series, and then they can show how public it can begin. Now, the first thing that I had a problem with this anime was it swaps really between the past and the present, because the present is happening on a train where all of the actors are located, while the first part of every episode revolves around their personal daily life that was like either 200 years before, which was showcased in one episode, or let's say 2-3 days before they got on the train. Besides that, just if you're a sucker for that style and for jazz, this is definitely the anime to watch for you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Al Capone mentioned in the show?
No.
This show has gone down my ratings. I mean, Chicago, 1920s, and no Al Capone.
30s.
Is there a character that Scarface that has a scar on his face at least?
Dick. Well, yeah, you can actually see him in the middle.
Yeah, the small one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Al Capone.
He's a very interesting character.
We have Al Capone. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, this is not that character you're thinking of, and I think you will be interested in him a little bit.
I'll see. I watched the other anime from the same creators, the Durarara. So I know I'm gonna like this, but
yeah,
I'm prejudging it.
I think it's weird. It's weird for a very good reason,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll admit that the historical part of it is just there for the aesthetics.
Yeah, the jazz.
Yeah,
All that jazz.
the swinging. and stuff like that. And yeah, just a very interesting show. And at first, when I watched it, I don't think that I actually liked it that much. But the more time passes and the more I think about it, it's goddamn good.
Well, the same studio did the Durarara.
Yeah.
And I think it has the same writer.
Takahiro Omori.
Yeah.
I think you are correct.
Anikron here. This is part 1 of our historical anime podcast. See you in a few days for part 2. Follow us on social network, follow us on Twitch, and subscribe on YouTube for next updates. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye.